So welcome all. This is the second part where we are going to discuss the advanced Excel expert level commands. In previous section we had discussed 50 tips to discuss the fundamentals of Microsoft Excel. We have covered all the basics in last video. In this video we are going to cover the expert level MS advanced tips where we are going to cover VLOOKUP, how we can compare the columns, how we can check the duplicacy of items in a table, then how to create pivot tables. We are taking an example of isometric tracker where complicated database is there so that we can extract some practical reports to get the to understand the pivot tables. Okay, then again we'll use the slicer commands, how we are going to use slicer to get the better output, better status reports. Then timelines, how to get a particular report of a particular time period, maybe a day wise, week wise, month wise, from the same database. Okay, then we'll use the group command to get better reports week wise, or n number of reports we can generate. So what we are going to do, we are going to divide these tips into 5 sections, and one by one we'll cover each and everything in coming slides. So let us start with the first section where we are going to cover the VLOOKUP and comparing commands. So let us start with the 51st tip and the first tip in advanced Excel. First of all, we are going to cover the VLOOKUP, how we can use the VLOOKUP command. Okay, suppose we have a table which we were using in our last previous section also, where we were covering the basic Excel tips. So we have this one and we want to use we want to drag some properties from similar to related to this column from some other table where we have a database related to same line numbers. Okay, suppose we want to bring the checkers and modelers name into this section, so we can write the checker name, and we want to bring the checker related to this line number. So we'll go for VLOOKUP, then bracket, then what we want to search, this line number, comma, then the table array from where we want to bring the checker. This is the line number which we selected there, and this is the checker. So if you see at top, it is the 6th one. Okay, then click, we can write 6, 0 and enter. So we have the checker name here against this line. Similarly, if you want to do for all these, then you just have to drag it down and we get the checker name against each and every sheet, every line number. Okay, similarly if you want to bring modeler name also, again equal to VLOOKUP, then against this line number, comma, we'll go to the database where all the data is already there. Okay, now if you see after G it is H7 number, so comma 7, 0. Okay, so we have modeler name here against this sheet number. So again you can double click here, then it will be there for all the lines. So this way we can use the VLOOKUP command. Similarly, if we want to check whether these, although we have this column with us AGUG, okay, let us check whether the same AGUG demarcation is there in database or not. AGUG from tracker. Okay, so again we'll say VLOOKUP, we'll look for this line into this database. Okay, it is here only, so 1, 2, comma 2, 0. So this is here. So if you see, we have filled this way. So all the AGUG figures are here now. So this way we can use the VLOOKUP command, right? We can VLOOKUP this thing into somewhere, and we can bring the corresponding details into the same Excel sheet. Now another thing is compared to columns. Now what we have done, we have H column here, we had already with us, and we have brought this information from another Excel. Now let us check whether this AG everywhere it is matching or not. How we can do that is very simple, comparing two columns. Okay. If you have similar information, you just have to press equal to this, equal to this. Okay, if it is matching, it will become true, otherwise it will become false. So now what we can do, we can filter it out, we can place a simple filters, and we will select false. So these four are false. Now we know these entries are different in tracker, so you can always go for manual checkup whether this is UG or AG. If you want to change it to AG, you know, then it will be AG, so it will become true. If you know this is correct, then you may go and change in our tracker whether it is AG or UG, and you can review each and every row so that all become true. So this way we can always compare two columns. It is very simple. You have to just press equal to, then one cell, then equal to another cell. If those are equal or having same value, it will become true, otherwise it will become false. Now let us remove this filter. Now let us check whether any of the line number is getting repeated or not. Okay, repetition check, duplicacy check, duplicate value. Okay, how we can check? There is a formula like count if. Okay, count if, then bracket. Now it is asking for the range and then criteria. Okay, range is what? This is the range, these 100 lines is the range, comma, what we want to find in it, the same line number. Okay, bracket close, enter. So you can see this line number is only one entry is there in all these 100 lines. If you see, you can drag it down. Okay, again you want to check if any duplicate lines are there. We have just put in the filters and you select 2 if it is more than 2. So these lines are getting repeated. So this entry is there twice in this table. So let us see, you copy it from here, you want to see whether there are 2 entries or not, just filter it again. So we have 2 entries, one is under AG, one is under UG. So if you want to change, then you can always check whether you want to retain this value or you want to change something. So this way you can check the duplicacy also. This is a permanent check. Whenever there is a 2, you will get alarm. You can always filter out, you can check whether any duplicate value is there or not. So this is also one of the way. We discussed one way in basic section where we used conditioning formatting to get the colored color in the cells to identify the duplicate value. So this is one of the another way to get the duplicate check. So this was all about the section 1. Next part we'll go for pivot tables. Before entering into section number 2, where we are going to discuss how we can generate the pivot tables, timelines, groupings, slicers, everything, we just want to understand first what is the isometric tracker and what database we are going to use to get the practical results for pivot tables. Okay, so this is a general isometric tracker where line number, above ground, underground categorization, inch dia, line size, lot number, checker, modeler name, which we can fill. Okay, only thing here is all these stages. We have around 11 stages. We have categorized the complete cycle of isometric into 11 stages, where first check print is received from modeler and it is given for checking. Okay, these first 2 are only input. Here received from checker, that means checker has done the checking for first stage, and we have received the first check from stress team also. Then received from both, when we receive from both the checker as well as layout checker as well as from stress checking, we have stage number 4. Okay, here we are mentioning all the first check is done and received on what date. Then it is given to modeler for backdrafting. Suppose 16th April we have received from both, then 16th April it is given to modeler for backdrafting. Then received backdrafted sheet from modeler. Modeler has taken some time and it is given back to checking cycle on what date. Okay, same day received layout backcheck. Some we have received from modeler, that means we have given it directly to the checkers as well as stress. Then we have received it from checker after backchecking of those comments. Okay, then received from layout stress on what date we have filled the date. Then again we have given these sheets to modeler on what date. Then received from modeler. Modeler has incorporated all the comments received in backchecking stage, and we have given this sheet for sign off. On what date received, on what date we have received it from modeler after incorporating the IFC comments. This is the date. Then sign off done from checker. Then sign off done from stress team, or this stage if you want to add sign off done by area owner. So once everybody has signed it, it is issued on what date. So this is what we have to do manually. Every stage we have to capture the date, and we have to fill date only in date format. Nothing else should be there other than blank cells. Blank cells are okay, and these are okay. So another thing for pivot table, this column, this heading should be filled in each and every cell. If even a single cell is blank, then we cannot generate any report, it will show error. Timeline command which we are going to use in coming slides, this date should be in a date format only. So this is what we are going to use in coming portion of the video, where we are going to use pivot tables, timelines, slicers, grouping. So this is the basic requirement, and these are the stages which we are going to use, and generally this is done in ISO coordination. These stages we have to fill to track each and every stage of the isometry. So let us start with the pivot tables, section number 2 of this advanced Excel. So this is the second section where we are discussing the advanced Excel tips, and in this section we are going to cover the pivot tables, how we are going to create the pivot tables, what are the various features there, and we will take 3 realistic examples where we can actually see how pivot tables are useful. So as we have discussed, this is our isometric tracker where we have all the database. As you know, these are the dates which we need to fill manually. ISO coordinator will always do this, and we need to keep in mind that these should be in date format only. There should not be any other text. There can be blank rows, blank cells, but not any other cell, other thing other than properties, other than date, and that should be in a date format. This is the one of the first and last requirement. Another thing is we are having all these headings. There should not be any blank cell in the heading. All the heading should be filled properly, and it should have a logical name. So let us start with the first thing. We'll create pivot table. We are having this database. Okay, first we need to select the, if you see here, we are having this section. So let us put our pivot table here only, or we can create a new one. First we have to select the headings, control shift and right button, control shift and down button. Okay, so this is the database from which we want to extract the data. So go to insert, click pivot table. It is asking whether you want in a new worksheet or in an existing. So we'll go for new one and we click OK. Okay, so this is how things look like. This is the pivot table fields, filters, columns, rows and values. We'll see the function of each and every one by one. So first let us see what is our agenda. We are going to check how many above ground and underground lines are there at backdrafting stage and at IFC stage, that means stage 5 and 8. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are dragging this in the row. Okay, above ground, underground, this is the first category which we want to see. Then we want to see how many lines are at backdrafting stage. Okay, stage number 5. But that count will come here. Again, how many sheets are at IFC stage? Simple. This is at backdrafting stage, count at IFC stage. So we can see now this many sheets out of 100, 158 sheets belong to above ground, which are at backdrafting stage, and out of 44, 30 sheets belongs to IFC stage, which belongs to above ground. Similarly for underground lines. So this way we can quickly get the data. This is real data coming from the database. Okay. So now what we can do, we can create another pivot table where we want to check how many modelers are there and each modeler front. Okay, at backdrafting stage and IFC stage. So stage 5 and 8 will extract against each modeler. So what we will do, we will create another pivot table here only. Insert pivot, then it is asking for the database. The database is here. So headings, shift control right, shift control down. So this is the database which we have selected, and click OK. Now what we are going to do, how many modelers are there, those have come in the rows. Then how many backdrafting sheets are there with each modeler, stage number 5, and how many IFC front is there, how many sheets at IFC front which are available against each modeler. Now if you see 101 sheets, breakup of 101 sheet against each modeler we have received here. If you see, this is the backdrafting front, this is the IFC front available with the modelers. So this way we can quickly see where each and every sheet is. Okay. Again, if you want to check the front available with checkers, you can again do the same thing. Insert pivot, again it is asking for the database. Okay, so all the headings and complete table. Control shift left, control shift down. So data is selected. Again another pivot is there. Then checkers in row. Okay, then you want to check whether they have first check, how many sheets are there. Okay, then stage 5, how many back checking sheets are available with them. Okay, so you can see first check prints, then back checking sheets. So this way you can calculate how many sheets at first check with each and every checker and each and every back checking stage sheets. So this way you can quickly get the data, whether if suppose it is 0, then you can quickly see ki checker number 3 is free, they don't have any front to check, so you can quickly arrange sheets. So there are many uses of all these things. Similarly you can go for normal formatting, which we do in Excel, which we have seen in basic Excel tips. Again you can select all and you can align the text in center. So this way you can make it readable and more presentable. Maybe you can drag it and you can do it wrap text, and you can change it. You can change the cell content also, heading especially. You can write backdrafting sheets count. Okay, but you want to make it smaller, you can do it. So wrap is also working in this cell. So this way you can get the information related to how many sheets are there with whom, backdrafting and IFC stage. So modeling front you can calculate, checking front you can calculate. So this can be used in many ways. So this is the best way we can use the pivot tables. So in previous section we have created few pivot, we extracted some data from our database to get the reports. Now in this section we are going to use the slicer property, how we can use the slicers to get even better reports. So let us go back to these pivots which we generated in our last section, where we had discussed all these four section: filters, columns, rows and values. Now let us generate, before directly going to the slicer, let us check out how filters are useful. Okay, suppose let us generate another pivot. Insert pivot, then select the database, again the headings, then control shift down, select the table, press OK, and we'll get this pivot table here. Suppose we are having AG and UG here. Okay, checkers in column, then checkers in value also. So we have this report mentioning all the 120 lines which we were having in the database. Okay, total sheets we were having 120 in our table. So this is a breakup of all 120 sheets. How many are above ground? 63. With with whom it is there, who has checked the sheets, that is also mentioned. Okay, so you can see checker 1 has not checked any sheet which belong to UG. Checker 3, he has also not checked any sheet which belongs to UG. Anyway, this is the breakup of above ground, underground and checkers. So these are total 120 sheets breakup. Now what we can do, we want to see the line size filter here. Okay, just drag it into the filter option. You can see now how much size we have, how many sizes we are having in our database. Suppose you want to see the large bore, these two multiple, you can select two, 18 and 24 inch lines, who has checked and with whom these sheets are there. If you see, those all belong to above ground and most of the sheets are there with checker number 1. So this way you can see the filters. Okay, you can set the filters. So most probably you can see the small bore or maybe lower sizes, 2 inch and 4 inch. You see these are equally distributed and most of the sheets are there with checker number 5. So this way you can get the different details available against each checker. So now why we have done this? Suppose you don't now you don't remember what kind of filter you have taken here. Okay, because it is hidden now, you cannot see. Now let us remove this. Okay, all 120 sheets are there. Instead of putting filter, you go for slicer. Okay, just right click on line size and click slicer. So you can see here, if you see, there is no filter, all 120 sheets are there, and you want to see any size. If you want to see 8 inch size, 24 inch size sheets, okay, with whom it is there, this is also mentioned. So you can visually see and it will always remain here with you. You can see you are talking about 4 inch size only. So slicer, you can use it as a filter only. Okay, so this is how we can create slicer and use the slicer. Now let us see slicer uses of with modeler. Okay, now what we can do, here we have the pivot table, all the sheets which are available with the modeler at various stages. So you can do it here also. If you see, right click on size. Okay, same, add a slicer. So another slicer is added for this pivot table. You can see 16 inch sheets, how many 16 inch sheets are there and at what stages. Backdrafting, modeler number 2, then 10 sheets are there with modeler number 3, and that is also at backdrafting stage. So this way you can use the slicer against each and every size. So you want to see the higher size, 24 inch, then you can see how many sheets are there at various stages and with which modeler is. So this way you can use the slicers. Similarly, you can see against checker also. If you want to see with, this is a total breakup. Okay, against each we have prepared this pivot table. Now you want to see, you want to add any slicer to it. Just click inside the pivot table and go to the size, add a slicer. So this slicer is applicable for this pivot. So you can see 17 sheets are there at stage 2 with checker number 1 and 16 sheets are there at stage 5 with checker number 1. So this way you can use these slicers. Suppose you want to remove it, just select and delete. Okay, similarly you can go for inch dia, or you can see the lot, which lot you had given this. Okay, lot number wise you can see how many sheets were given related to first check and backdrafting and with whom it is there. So this way you can use these slicers. These are similar to filters, but these are always visible to you what filter you have put in. So this is how we use slicers and we can generate the better reports, better visibility and getting the required data from the pivots. So another topic is timelines. Now we have generated the pivot tables, we have used the slicers Now let us use another tool, which is timelines. We can get the data. For example, if there are 5 modelers, we can get the details very easily from tracker only. How many sheets were back drafted by a modeler in a particular month, day, week, or anything. Okay, similarly you can extract the data, how many sheets were checked by a checker in a particular month, week, or particular day. So let us go back to our tracker and generate another pivot again. Headings, control shift right, control shift down. Okay, go to insert, pivot, and okay. So this is how we are doing. Now we are going to see how many sheets were backdrafted by modelers. So modelers here. So backdrafting was done in stage number 6. Okay, same time if you want to see the IFC completed by modeler, stage number 9. Okay, so these are the stages. Stage number 9, received from modeler. Stage number 6, backdrafting, received from modeler. So this is how we have, this is work done by a modeler. Backdrafted, IFC completed. Okay, so this is how we can get the data. Now let us put a timeline here. Okay, add a timeline. Right, this is the timeline for stage number 9. Okay, so we can see one by one. Let us go for backdrafting first. Put it back, stage number 9, add a timeline. Now we have a timeline with us. You want to see in a particular month how many sheets were backdrafted. So in July it was not done. In August, September, October, November, December. Okay, which month? April. In April month 34 sheets were backdrafted by modeler 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is the breakup. Okay, in May 24, in June it was not there. So March, April and May, 2 months, 4 modelers were involved in backdrafting and they had done the backdrafting for 24 sheets. Similarly you can go for, if you want to check the IFC stage, you can go for this and you bring the timeline for IFC stage. Okay, again you can see when these sheets were completed, in which month. July nothing, in April and May, June. So in 2 months these sheets were, now we are talking about IFC completed. Okay, so these sheets were completed in month of April, May, 18 sheets in June. So in 2 months IFC front was cleared. So this way you can check the timeline. You can add the timeline and check how much output was there against each and every modeler. Okay, same thing you can do for checkers also. It is very easy. Again we'll go back to this only. We'll select insert, pivot table. It is asking for the database. Database is here. Control shift right, control shift down. Selected the database. Okay, then again you can check the column checkers and see which stages you want. Received backcheck 7A. Okay, received IFC, or you can check received from checker 3A. First check print, you can drag 3A to this. So this was these were the stages. First check print, first check stage was cleared by checker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 120 sheets. And let us put a timeline here to get the result in which period these were checked. March, April. So most of the sheets were checked in April month only. So only one sheet was there which was spilled over to next month. So April 119 out of 120 checked by these checkers. So everything you can get it from checkers. So if you want to see day wise also, you can see in particular day. If you want to see in April, okay, which day it was there, you can drag also in these. Okay, in a particular week you want to see you can see, you can select the days specifically, you can see like this. Okay, so timeline is very useful. You can go for even day wise, week wise, month wise. You can select week, in particular week if you want to check. So this way we can check how many sheets were checked, at which stage, by whom. So this way we can use the timeline. So this was all about the timeline section. So in the fifth section, here we are discussing the advanced tips for Excel. We are covering the group option. This is very useful. We have used pivots, we have discussed slicers, then timeline. Now to get better reports, this is a very good tool available in Excel. So let us see how we can use it. Now grouping is used to group the dates. Suppose we are having stage number 6 where we are getting the data modular wise, how many sheets they have backdrafted in a particular day, time, day, week, month. Okay, so let us go for stage number 6 and let us see how we can generate reports from same database, and but better reports. So let us go back to tracker. We will generate another pivot. Okay, control shift right, control shift down, we attract the database, insert pivot. Okay, so it is in new sheet where we are having the data. Now what we want to see, we want to check stage 6. In stage 6 we will bring it into the rows. Okay, then sometime it comes, if you can remove it, so it is day. Okay, then modeler in column. We know we have 5 modelers, 1 2 3 4 5 modelers, day wise details. Now what we are doing, we are getting the data of stage 6. These are the values. So total 58 sheets were backdrafted by each and every modeler. Now we want to use the grouping command. We want to see in a particular week how many sheets were backdrafted. Okay, so just click any of the dates and right click and group. Okay, this is very important thing. We need to understand this. You want to go for months, month wise, quarter wise, year wise, hourly basis, day wise, minutes, seconds, everything we can do. Whatever data we have filled, we can do this. But most important is this, because most of the project reports we generated week wise. Okay, but week option is not there. So this is very important to understand how we can generate the week wise report. Okay, so let us start from, suppose this is the month, this is the date. Okay, so we will start with 1st April, ending date is this. Okay, and number of days you want to end by 7. So you will get week wise report starting from first week of April. Okay, so you have generated, you have grouped the dates into week wise trend. You can change the week increment by 5 6 7, anything you can do, but we have generated right from Monday to Sunday, 7 days we have taken. In each and every week, each modeler's performance, we can get it like this. Similarly you can do it for checkers also. Let's go to pivot table. It is asking for the database. Control shift right, control shift down, we have selected the database, press OK. Then again, what we want to check 3A, how many first checking sheets were checked by checker, and we'll use group command to group it week wise, and we'll check the performance of checkers week wise. Okay, so again you want to bring 3A into the rows. Okay, you can remove the month, this comes automatically. So these are the dates. Then checkers name in column. Then again 3A count. So total 120 sheets were checked by checkers. Breakup of day wise, checker wise, each and every sheet you can get it here, but we want to see weekly. So let us right click, group. Okay, you select days right from here. This is the total period. You can simply increase it to 7 and press OK. So week wise performance is there. You can see in first week 23 sheets were checked, in second week 27 sheets were checked, so 40 sheets were checked and 30 sheets were checked. So this way you can get the use the grouping command to get the data week wise. Even if you want to change these groups month wise, you can simply click it and press OK. So in April this many sheets were checked, in May only one sheet was checked. Similarly you can get the data month wise also. For modelers, you can select the month, you can remove the date and press OK. So in April month 24 sheets were checked, were backdrafted. In May 24 sheets were backdrafted. So this way you can use the grouping command and you can group the timeline and get the results in whatever format you want with you. So this was all about grouping command. See you in the next part. Thank you for watching this video. In this video we have covered all these tips. In previous one we had covered the basics, these all 50 tips. So I'm sure these two videos are very helpful to understand the Excel features, and I'm sure everybody can use it in their ongoing projects or whatever field they are, especially into ISO coordination. These are very helpful and everybody should know the basics which have been covered here. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned. See you in the next part.